Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we are going to be talking about containers. So before we start talking about containers, let me uh, start this preview, basically preview screen. So what it's called basically is Canvas, and what it does, it basically shows you the preview of what you're developing on the screen. Okay, so as you update, it's gonna actually update that content here. So as you write your code, it's gonna update the content here. Okay, so let's talk about containers now. So in SwiftUI, you have views, and then you have another thing called modifier. Now views draw basic components on the screen, and modifiers, as the name suggests, modifies their properties, like they modify the color, their size, and text, for example. Okay. Now containers are another view types. Okay, and they are usually used to organize and compose other views. Okay, so once again, containers are view types, basically, usually used to organize and compose views. And there are three types of containers that we have in SwiftUI, and we're gonna take a look at all of them to see how we can organize views in various different ways. Okay, so first let's take a look at vertical stack that we looked at briefly in the last video. And basically, vertical stack is where things are organized in vertical direction and top to bottom. So as you can see here, you have two texts that are stacked on the top of each other. So if you increase two more, you're gonna have 3 and 4. Now let me give you a quick preview of the modifiers as well. So let's say if you wanted to change the text font size for this text, you can simply say font, and you can say large title. Okay, as you can see, the font for that particular text has increased, and others have made space to basically make that adjustment. Now this looks very much like UI stack view, and in some sense it's actually what it is. It's a stack view with vertical and horizontal stack, but there's another dimension that SwiftUI has introduced. It's called Z stack that we're going to look at. Okay, so the font here is basically the modifier because it's modifying the current behavior of the view. You can provide some foreground color. So basically, foreground color is the color of the text itself. So I can say my text color needs to be blue, and you can have a background color, right? So background color, and if you notice, background is not a color, but it is just the background, and that takes a view. So in SwiftUI for background, you can not only use your color, but you can use any kind of view and build your complex component inside that view. Right. So let me change that color to white because blue looks a little bit ugly inside that. Now, let's say if you want to add one more modifier where you want to have like a little bit of padding here and there, you can actually say padding, and that will add some padding. Okay, so as you can see, you're working on one text, and it's actually changing the behavior of that text, how it looks like, using these modifiers. So that's what modifiers are. Now let's take this example and turn it into H stack, so horizontal stack. Now horizontal stack is where views are organized horizontally next to each other, as you can see here. So you have all the views laid out in horizontal fashion, right? So that's your horizontal stack. And then you have Z stack. That's your depth stack, or Z direction, basically the depth stack, right? So what Z stack does is actually it stacks items on the top of each other. Okay, so the best way to see basically these other elements is to add some modifiers on those two and increase the padding. So we're going to create this effect where we're going to increase the padding to 40, 50, and 60. And we can change the color to blue, red, and black. Okay. As you can see, because our text, that's actually the biggest in size, biggest padding in size, sits on the top, everything else is hidden underneath. Okay. So if you modify this, so this is the reason I want to show you this, because I want to show you how these stack actually elements sit on the top of each other. So let's reverse this. So we can say 10, or we want to show the text one first. So we can say 40, 30, 20, and 10. Okay. As you can see, we have created this effect where all the other texts are now moved behind, and the biggest one, the one that has white and the orange, is actually peeking out here. Now you don't see the text because text is actually centered, and that's why you don't see it. But it actually essentially gives you an idea how these container works to build a complex layout that you can organize your views into. Okay, so this is it for this video about about the containers. Like I said, we're gonna start exploring all these a little bit more. But in the next video, let's talk about text a bit. Let's take a look at some more properties about the text and how we actually apply different kind of modifiers on the text itself. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.